This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Arrival went very smoothly, and I'm very grateful for all of the support that we had.
Canadian cruise ship passengers touched down on Vancouver Island and are now isolating. The province's plan to help contain a deadly outbreak of Hantavirus.
Our rainwater-based system, so we're not dependent on snowpack.
Diving into the island's water supply, how the warm and wet winter helped fill the capital region's reservoir. Plus, Adam finds out why a mannequin named Gunner is reclining on a fence in Nanaimo. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening and thank you for joining us. 4 Canadians who were aboard a cruise ship linked to a deadly hantavirus outbreak have arrived on Vancouver Island to begin their quarantine. 2 from the Yukon, 1 Islander and 1 who lives abroad. The individuals were taken to pre-arranged isolation accommodations under public health supervision. One of them, a 70-year-old person who lives alone in Victoria, is isolating at home under strict monitoring. We bring in CTV's Anna McMillan now with more. Anna.
4 Canadians who were on the cruise ship linked to the hantavirus outbreak arrived in Sydney, BC last night after they were flown from the Canary Islands.
Their arrival went very smoothly, and I'm very grateful for all of the support that we had.
BC's provincial health officer says all 4 people are well and asymptomatic. YYJ says the federally coordinated medical evacuation did not involve the passenger terminal, and travelers using the airport were not affected. Dr. Bonnie Henry says they were processed through a military helicopter base connected to the airport.
At no point during their arrival or transfer did any of them come in contact with the public, and the healthcare workers that were involved were all wearing appropriate PPE at all times.
They're isolating for at least 21 days and are being monitored by Island Health. Henry says 2 people are from BC and 2 live in the Yukon, which often receives healthcare support from BC. Halfway around the world, the cruise ship's captain is sharing a message.
And I must commend my crew for their courage and the selfless resolve that they showed time and again in the most difficult moments.
3 people have died since the outbreak began. Infectious disease experts say hantavirus is typically transmitted through exposure to infected rodent droppings and urine. Spread between people is rare, though it's believed that is what happened with this outbreak.
It's not highly transmissible, and we know that too. And it's not what we would consider a disease of pandemic potential.
While the outbreak is considered serious, experts say the likelihood of community transmission is low due to the nature of the virus and the containment measures in place. Nafisa.
Thank you, Anna. Fire crews on the Mid-Island responded to what they say is a suspicious fire in Cherry Creek near Port Alberni after someone ignited a pile of wood debris in a wooded area. The fire was called in just after 5 yesterday morning. A 1.5 meter by 4.5 meter pile of debris was found unattended about 100 meters behind the Port Alberni Walmart. Crews managed to put out the fire and stop it from spreading. The fire chief tells CTV News the wood appeared to be intentionally stacked, and while investigating, they noticed several other attempts to start fires. The department is reminding folks there is a complete burning ban in effect right now, including campfires. With the taste of summer heat, a campfire ban and water restrictions now in place, regional districts are monitoring our access to drinking water up and down Vancouver Island. So we sent CTV's Brendan Strain on a tour of the Souk Lake Reservoir, which provides the drinking water for the capital region. Here's what he found.
31 people are disembarking a tour bus within the restricted area of the Souk watershed.
They've been going on for 37 years, and last year, for instance, we had about 1,800 people that went on those tours.
Well, at full pool, this north basin, it's about 75 meters deep.
These people have come to the Souk Reservoir to find out more about where their drinking water comes from.
Just getting this, access to here is pretty impressive.
I had no idea that one of the initial pump stations was the Keg in Quadra.
It's just been so awesome to learn how lucky we are to get the great drinking water that we do get.
It's a 22,405 hectare protected area that feeds the reservoir, supplying clean drinking water to roughly 430,000 people in the CRD.
Currently, we're at 98% full, and it's looking good for the year.
That can be chalked up to a warm and rather wet winter.
We are a rainwater-based system, so we're not dependent on snowpack.
Reservoir levels are monitored on a weekly basis. In 2002, the Souk Lake Dam was raised raised, adding a massive amount of storage capabilities to the CRD's water supply system. Since then, the CRD has never had to raise its conservation levels to stage 2.
Souk Lake has really been a great water source for us.
Unlike other parts of the island that rely on snowpack, the capital region relies solely on rainfall and its reservoir's capacity to store that water gathered over the winter season.
It's been a dramatic change in the snowpack just in the past week because of the heat that we've had.
In April, snowpack levels raised some concern on the island. The River Forecast Center saying the island was sitting at 44% of normal snow levels. May data is deepening that concern.
The May 1st numbers coming in at 27% of normal.
The low snowpack, along with seasonably warm weather, could lead to a higher risk of drought for many parts of the island, resulting in some major water restrictions for certain communities.
Raising the dam all those years ago we've really benefited from that.
The Capital Regional District says there are no future plans or need to raise the dam again and has secured a future water supply source within the Leach watershed. The CRD says it plans to begin using that water source by 2045, based on the growth and future demands of the region. Good news for the islanders on this unique tour, as they now understand how the South Island stays hydrated. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Victoria.
West Shore RCMP are warning about the dangers of illegal street racing on island highways after impounding 2 vehicles on the Trans-Canada in View Royal. Police responded Friday evening to reports of a Ford Ranger that had rolled multiple times into the median. Witnesses say prior to that, the truck had been driving erratically and sideswiped another vehicle. Police determined the driver was street racing with the driver of a Dodge Ram. Both were given a nearly $200 fine, 6 penalty points, and both cars were impounded for 7 days. The driver of the Ford pickup was taken to hospital with minor injuries. The BC government announcing funds and a strategy to expand global markets for the province's forestry industry. The funding from the province will be matched by industry for a total investment of more than $16 million. The province says the goal is to diversify trade, boost the use of BC wood, and protect jobs as the sector faces ongoing U.S. tariffs.
Our strategy is to be able to ensure that we work with the federal government, and we're excited to be able to announce these dollars in investment from the province, and we're certainly hopeful that in the days, weeks, and months ahead, we will see serious federal investments, not only in trade diversification, but helping to ensure that we are truly transforming this forest sector here in British Columbia, throughout Canada, away from boom and bust to stability and certainty.
The minister pointed to new emerging markets for BC's lumber, including the Middle East, to curtail its dependence on the United States. Today marks the last day for people to fill out their census forms. Statistics Canada says reminder letters will be sent out to households that don't complete the form on time. They may also follow up with phone calls and in-person visits. Not completing the form could eventually result in a $500 fine. The census is completed every 5 years, and the information is used in population-based decisions on how public resources are allocated. Maybe it's the high cost of home ownership on the South Island, but a brooding duck in Esquimalt has made an unconventional home this spring. A sign and yellow tape are keeping a mama duck safe as she covers and warms her hatchlings under this park slide. The township of Esquimalt says staff put the tape up Friday at the Gorge Park and Pavilion, which neighbors the Victoria Migratory Bird Sanctuary. It's a perfect location for the waterfowl, great backyard, and a water view. The township says it will leave that tape up for now and monitor the duck's health. Neighborhood kids of the human variety will have to resist the slide until mama moves out. Still to come, what expectant mothers need to know about endometriosis.
We're not trying to alarm anyone. The risks are still really low.
New research on the risks related to a common condition. That story and more after the break, and streaming on Crave.
We're sitting at a nice 20 degrees as we look out towards the water. Mostly sunny sky, a beautiful afternoon as we head into the supper hour. I've got your forecast coming up, which does change in the long range. Those details after break.
Josh, 'Josh is off today. Corey Adel filling in, and Corey, it is a gorgeous start to the week. 'Josh is off today. Corey Adel filling in, and Corey, it is a gorgeous start to the week. 'Josh is off today. Corey Adel filling in, and Corey, it is a gorgeous start to the week. 'Josh is off today. Corey Adel filling in, and Corey, it is a gorgeous start to the week. 'Josh is off today. Corey Adel filling in, and Corey, it is a gorgeous start to the week. 'Josh is off today. Corey Adel filling in, and Corey, it is a gorgeous start to the week. 'Josh is off today. Corey Adel filling in, and Corey, it is a gorgeous start to the week. 'Josh is off today. Corey Adel filling in, and Corey, it is a gorgeous start to the week. 'Josh is off today. Corey Adel filling in, and Corey, it is a gorgeous start to the week. 'Josh is off today. Corey Adel filling in, and Cor
Oh, beautiful weather out there. Wind on the lighter side, lots of sun as we head into the supper hour. And it's going to be nice over the next couple of days, but then we do see a shift. We'll see temperatures drop off a little bit, and then we've got some rain and showers in the forecast. Right now, 18 Comox, northern part of the island, a little bit cooler. Port Hardy, 15. Port Alberni, as well as Nanaimo, quite nice at 21 degrees. Victoria, 20. Again, wind on the lighter side. As we take a look, no watches or warnings to talk about, so that is quite nice. We've got partly cloudy sky throughout much of the island, a little bit clearer areas around Tofino and Port Alberni. As we take a look at our future cast, that's the case as we head into the early part of the evening, but nothing too significant as far as cloud cover as we go throughout the evening. Just a little bit of cloud overnight and throughout the early morning hours. Then for tomorrow, it'll be a mix of sun and cloud. And then the cloud will start to thicken up late Tuesday, and then into Wednesday, we'll start to see some scattered showers throughout the island. Nothing too substantial. It's once we get into Thursday where we do start to see a little bit more activity. Taking a look at the North Island for tomorrow, 15, so very similar to temperature to what we're seeing right now. A mix of sun and cloud, wind light. Wednesday, later into the day, a slight chance of scattered showers, 12, so the temperature starts to drop off. Thursday, Friday, chance of showers. Thursday could be the heavier day. 11 for a high. So our temperature continues to drop off as we head towards the long weekend. Start to see the cloud break a little bit for Saturday, 12 for a high. As we head inland, 23 for tomorrow. Slight chance of evening showers. Wednesday, evening showers, a chance of that as well, but a 40% chance, 20 for a high. And then the temperature starts to drop off a little bit more. Chance of showers and rain for Thursday. Friday, a chance of showers, and then a little bit of clearing as we head into Saturday. So we head to the west coast. Could see some fog in the morning. 16 for tomorrow, 16 on Wednesday. More cloud building for Wednesday. Then it looks like showers and rain as we head towards the long weekend as well. So it's Thursday, Friday, where we become a little bit more unsettled throughout the island. Saturday, a slight recovery. For Comox, tomorrow, 22. Slight chance of evening showers. Sun and cloud for Wednesday, 19. Still looking quite nice. And then late Thursday, we could see some scattered showers, 15, and then temperature dropping off. But picking back up for Saturday. So the long weekend, still looking pretty decent for the second half of it. Nanaimo for tomorrow, 23. Slight chance of evening showers, 19 Wednesday, and then a similar pattern as well with things picking back up on Saturday, 15 with a mix of sun and cloud. For Victoria, for tomorrow, 21, slight chance of evening showers, 17 on Wednesday, still looking quite nice. And then Thursday, late in the day, we could see some rain with temperatures dropping off a little bit. Slight chance of showers Saturday, and then a little bit more clearing after that. And the temperature will start to pick up as we head out of the long weekend. That's a look at your forecast.
All right. Thank you, Corey. Now to a crash in Delta that if you didn't see, you probably wouldn't believe. Yeah, that is a motorbike dangling from a traffic light. On Saturday afternoon, police were called to a collision between a BMW and a motorcycle, and when they arrived on scene at Scott Road near 72nd Avenue, that is what they found. An onlooker couldn't believe what they were seeing and took photos and video, which have been posted to social media. Police spent the afternoon examining the scene and are confident speed was a factor. The motorbike rider has serious injuries but is expected to survive. The driver of the car is not hurt. Two reports are out today that paint a more detailed picture of trips taken by Canadians to the U.S. And we now have a better idea of how business and pleasure travel have changed as a result of Donald Trump's trade war. CTV's Michael Couture has the numbers for us.
Ottawa's Tulip Festival is a huge draw for tourists. These Montrealers used to take an annual trip to the New England coast, but since Canada-U.S. relations started to wilt, they're traveling domestically instead.
Stay in Canada and spend our money here, rather than encourage the American people who have this silly leader that they've got.
And it seems they're not alone. Researchers from the University of Toronto analyzed Canadian cell phone usage in the U.S. over a period of 2 years and found a median decline of 42%, more than the initial estimates of a 25% decrease. But that did include freight travel and Canadians who have to travel to the U.S. for work.
We think they're taking a lot more meetings at home in Canada on Zoom.
Researchers say it's even more apparent in some industries hit by the trade war.
You're seeing much less travel to places like Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's not a loss of tourist travel. That's a loss of trade-related travel related to the auto industry.
The new numbers from Statistics Canada show a slight uptick in cross-border traffic last month. In April, 1.8 million Canadians made return trips to the U.S. That's up 1.4% compared to the same month in 2025. It's the first time there's been an overall increase since December of 2024.
There will be those that will not travel to the U.S. no matter what, but I'm seeing many that had that attitude at the beginning are now softening and actually traveling now and going there also.
Despite that bump, Stats Canada numbers show when you compare April of this year to April of 2024, before cross-border tensions reignited, travel is down by 30%. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
A study published by the Canadian Medical Association Journal has found that babies born to mothers with endometriosis, a common condition, could face a slightly higher risk of birth defects, with a focus on the word slightly. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin reports.
Christina Kasparian's long struggle with endometriosis has affected many facets of her life.
A delayed diagnosis wreaked havoc in my system, my nervous system, my immune system, my fertility, my career, everything.
1 in 10 women live with endometriosis, a chronic inflammation where uterine-like tissue grows outside the uterus. And in a new study, researchers looked into the risk of congenital anomalies in babies born to mothers with endometriosis, looking at birth defects like a cleft palate or anomalies including those of the cardiovascular or gastrointestinal systems.
We're not trying to alarm anyone. The risks are still really low. It's just helpful for clinicians to maybe monitor these patients a little bit more.
The study found 6.3% of babies born to women with endometriosis presented with an anomaly, as compared to 5.4% to other women. Anomalies overall are rare, and the difference is small. And it's not clear just why endometriosis may be a factor.
There might be an impact through an inflammatory pathway that can change the gene expression when a baby is developing.
And while experts say the study has limitations, it does provide insight on a disease that is underreported, often diagnosed too late.
This is a significant illness that can impact on the quality of a young woman or an older woman's life, and then the other issues with fertility. So yes, definitely is something that we need to do better in terms of the medical profession.
Experts say much more research needs to be done. Still, the study highlights the need for better prenatal care for those suffering with endometriosis. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Coming up, the mannequin named Gunner. Adam finds out how this mannequin, who'd been a bachelor for almost a decade, finally found a mate. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Virgin Radio is Victoria's #1 hit music station. Home of Bailey and Johnny in the morning. Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to 107.3 Virgin Radio everywhere.
Finally, Adam finds out how a mannequin that had been displayed solo for almost a decade went missing for months before finding a mate this weekend. On the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Well, seeing as he likes fixing all sorts of things, Brian Neve was intrigued to find a broken mannequin at a garage sale.
He was all in pieces. Yeah. I just say, oh, that was kind of cool.
His wife, Terry, on the other hand, was not so sure.
Well, it's kind of out there, but...
But after Brian repaired the mannequin, Terry discovered it could be kind of fun finding outfits for him. So they named him Gunner and kept him around the house.
It would scare us because we'd forget that he was there.
So Brian put Gunner outside on the roof of his van before finding a permanent place on the fence, which proved popular with people passing.
You know, they come by and they toot their horns. It kind of makes people happy.
Gunner became a fixture in the neighborhood for almost a decade, until the day Terry woke up in the middle of the night to find the mannequin missing.
And I says, Brian, I think Gunner's gone. So he gets his pants on and goes outside and he goes, oh, he is.
And after being gone for more than a month, the mannequin was mourned by neighbors of all ages.
He said every time the little boy heard sirens, he said, is that the police looking for Gunner?
Eventually, Brian offered a $100 reward for his return, which led to a stranger sending him this picture.
That's definitely my mannequin. So had to go track him down, right?
Yeah. Brian ended up rescuing the mannequin from a town almost 3 hours away before ensuring Gunner was secured more firmly than before.
I said, yay! We were so happy.
Yeah. Until recently, when they wondered if others would be even happier if their mannequin had a mate, but the only one Brian could find had no face.
You know, she was looking pretty freaky.
So Terry asked her hairdresser to give the mannequin a makeover, and after she went above and beyond, Gunner has a girlfriend named Jillian.
It's nice to do something that makes people smile.
I guess we'll just kind of carry on doing it because people are paying attention, makes somebody happy.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Nanaimo.
What a pair they make. That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great evening.